Welcome back to
the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back to Throw Pillows and Blaster Fire, everybody. It only took 3 episodes, but we're actually doing a Star Wars episode. Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's in the name, it's in the logo, and we haven't talked about Star Wars yet. So here we are. The cats are still here. The sun is out, so we're ready to go. Careful, Pia. You're gonna make a mess on the microphone here.
We've got our blankies. Well, I've got my blankie.
We got the blankets. We've got the throw pillows. We've got the little plush stormtrooper.
Heck yeah.
It's go time.
We're ready
it's
to
go
go.
time. So
This is episode 3?
This is episode 3.
Episode 3.
We'll just keep counting. Star Wars time. Let's start with where did your Star Wars journey begin?
Oh, so I was not a Star Wars kid. I didn't know anything about Star Wars growing up.
Yeah.
I was a nerd, but not that kind of nerd, at least not when I was young. I was introduced to a few nerdy things like Doctor Who and whatnot, like kind of later in like my teens.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed those. And then when I was in college, it was a boy. It was a stinky dinky boy. Just kidding. Nothing against men. But it was a boy. And he really liked Star Wars, and I was like, well, maybe I'll give it a chance. So I went to see, believe it or not, my very first experience with Star Wars in college. I went with him and his buddies to go see Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Which was what, episode...
Incorrect.
8?
It was The Last Jedi. It was episode 8. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting busted.
Oh, what did I say?
You said Return of the Jedi.
Oh, just kidding.
It was The Last
Not Return
Jedi.
of the Jedi. The Last Jedi.
Episode 8.
Yeah. Episode 8. Cut that. I need to see like I know a lot about Star Wars. Yeah, and I really liked it.
Your life was changed forever.
It really, truly was. And like I said, I had no prior knowledge. Now, don't come for me. I know that that's not... There's a lot of hate towards that movie. But it was my very first exposure to Star Wars, and I loved it. And I was hooked ever since. And so I went and I watched it again once it was out of theaters. Like, I pulled it up on, like, Disney Plus or whenever it was released.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and I watched it again, and I was like, wait, this is as good the second time as it was the first time. And then I went back and I watched episode 6. Nope,
7.
episode 7. And that one was also very good. And I was like, okay. And then, of course, I went and saw... No. And then after that, on a trip to Florida, believe it or not,
there you go.
on a trip to Florida, I had, like, somehow downloaded or something all of the videos, or, like, offloaded them, however you do that. And I sat on my phone, and I started with... I don't remember the first time around which order I watched them in, but I think I might have watched them 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
1, 2,
Nice.
3, and then I went back and watched the other 2 again, and it was a lot of information to take in all at once.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Considering my only knowledge of, like, the Jedi or any of the lore was episodes...
It was episodes 7 and 8.
7 and 8. So that was a lot of information to take in. It was overwhelming, almost, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, like...
That's like starting Harry Potter with the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah. And then trying to go back and, like, learn all of the... But, like, Harry Potter, there's no, like, politics or anything. Like, there's just so much to Star Wars, and even still, you know, I've been a Star Wars fan now for years, and there's still so much that I don't know and that I need to learn, and, But, yeah, and so that's kind of where that all began. Very quickly afterwards, I was like, wait, I think I could do a Daisy Ridley, a Rey cosplay, and thus begun my journeys to Comic-Con going as Rey.
Mm-hmm.
I built my own Rey costume from scratch.
It was very impressive.
Thank you. And took that to Comic-Con once before buying a nice one. And and then I took that the rest of the time. But
Buying the real one.
that's my Star Wars history. Obviously, once I got together with you, it even kind of got progressively.
It blossomed.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It blossomed. Started learning a lot more of the lore and a lot more of all of the behind the scenes information and knowledge and things like that. So
Yeah.
I know a lot more now than I did before, but I still have a long way to go. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much is like expected.
What about
I don't know.
you?
What's the
What was your history with Star Wars?
Honestly, I don't even remember my full history, like where I started watching Star Wars. The wild thing is, so I remember being a Star Wars. It's very similar to like with like Marvel and Spider-Man. I knew who the superheroes were, and I knew who like the Star Wars characters were, but it took a long time before I actually I didn't like grow up on the movies. So I think what I remember from watching the movies was actually from my best friend Josiah's house, my best friend growing up. They had the movies on VHS. And when I would spend a lot of time at their house, we'd watch Star Wars. So I remember watching episode 5 at Josiah's house, and I remember watching episode 1 at the Otis's house.
So it was not your own household that was like Star Wars fanatics.
But we were like building pod racers out of Kinects.
Sure.
And putting our stuffed animals in them.
Facilitating that.
No, but my dad's a huge like nerd and movie snob.
Sure.
So he grew up with the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
He had the bougie the original like Kenner toys. And all that stuff. And when we would go to my grandparents' house and they'd pull out like dad's old bins of like toys, there were like some really cool Star Wars toys in there. But we didn't ever keep those. I don't know what happened to them. They're probably lost to the sands now. But so we had all the Hasbro lightsabers, the Extendify ones where you pull down on the little thing and then flick it out.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
But it was all the wrong color blades with the wrong hilts.
Yeah.
And then we had a few action figures. We had a few, which some of them I still have. We had a few like big plastic, like the starships and all kinds of stuff. We would and then we did end up watching a few of them like as a family too. Like I remember watching Attack of the Clones, and then making Jango Fett and Boba Fett helmet. Oh, this is what it was. We had Lego Star Wars on the computer.
Okay.
And to be honest, I think that was probably a solid 70% of like my Star Wars like upbringing was just in Lego Star Wars.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I saw the movies like along the way.
Okay.
Which is kind of a funny. I actually forgot about that. But we would take, you could get those like big gallon things of ice cream. Like the regular size one is a quart. And then there's like the big plastic tubs with a gallon of ice cream. We'd take those, and after we cleaned them out, we'd flip them over, cut like the T-visor in it, and then draw the Jango Fett like markings on it in marker. Which was not a good combination because the marker will just wipe right off the plastic.
Sure.
So we'd have to keep redoing it. But we were always making Mandalorian helmets out of those.
You were like cosplaying before you even knew what cosplay was.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like my dad had like my parents were in like Christian camps and stuff, and my dad had a bunch of like just random costumes and pieces that he had collected over the years for like characters that he would do.
Yeah.
And they weren't like actual characters; they were just like made up characters. So he had like lab coats and like a pirate costume and like all this random stuff. But over the years, it just kind of piled up, and it would just all go in this big dresser that had all these like costumes and props and stuff. And so we'd make our own costumes and kind of just plug and play and throw stuff around, and usually ended up with lightsabers and whatnot. So like I always loved Star Wars, but it wasn't even until like, I don't know, high school and like college that I actually started getting like into it and like actually like reading and listening and watching people's videos about like the lore and the stuff behind the stuff. And by the time I was an adult and I started watching back through it, then you start to see like, oh, the politics and the story and all like the actual like emotion that drives the story.
Yeah.
And that's what sets it off. Yeah, so we were both very unconventional when it comes to our introduction to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can get into some specific questions then. The first question, what do you think is, if you were going to tell someone who's never seen Star Wars before to watch, we'll say just the 9 movies.
Oh gosh.
What viewing order would you suggest?
Okay. I would definitely go chronological order, not the order, the years in which the movies were made. I would do 1, 2, 3, 4,
Really?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, because I think the story is the most cohesive and makes the most sense to me that way.
Okay.
And that might be a hot take. I don't know. But, like, I know for me, if we were going to sit and, like, binge them all, like, in a weekend or a week or whatever, like, I would want to start at the beginning. And I would want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Yeah, I don't know. Why? What order would you...
I think I would definitely do, like, David Cornsweat's take was a hot take to do like 4. I think he said 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Hold on. One more time. 4, 5...
4 and 5, and then jump back to the prequels, watch all the prequels, then do episode 6.
Why would you do that?
I think because, so, okay, what I would say is the original trilogy, 4, 5, 6, and then go back and watch the prequels. And I think the only reason, if someone doesn't know anything about Star Wars, and this is kind of rare to find, that's like someone doesn't know any of the plot twists, but the main one being in episode 5, the reveal that Luke is that Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Sure.
That's like the priceless, essential, like, plot twist of the original trilogy.
Sure.
And if you watch the prequels first, you already know that, and you don't get to experience that like everybody else did.
Yeah.
And then, like,
It's hard to come by a person who doesn't know
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father, which apparently isn't even the direct quote. It's been the Mandela effect or whatever. Mandela.
I think, well, I mean, that's pretty close. He told me enough. He told me you killed him, and then he goes, "No, Luke," or just, "No, I am your father," or something. It's pretty close to that.
It's not like whatever the iconic quote is though. Like that's not the actual what he says in the movie, which I think is funny. I don't know.
Yeah. And then, like, I've seen somebody, like, I saw somebody's TikTok where it was like a dude and his girlfriend was watching Star Wars for the first time, and he already had seen Star Wars, but, like, they watched the original trilogy, and he was filming her reaction at, like, key points. So, like, that plot twist was like a big one for her. And then they went into watching episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and he was like, "All right, so this is the last of, like, the prequel ones. What do you think is going to happen?" And she was like, "Well, I think Darth Vader's going to Darth Vader might show up." And, like, she hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet.
Right.
Because they don't say the name Anakin that many times in the original
I
trilogy.
suppose that's true, and you did preface the question by saying like someone who didn't know.
If they don't know anything about Star Wars.
I guess that's fair. I don't know.
And, like, by the end of Revenge of the Sith, she was, like, freaking out watching Anakin,
yeah.
like, fully fledged, like, turn into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And even by the end of the movie, she was still, like, shocked when, like, they started putting all the
That's so
stuff on him, and then
crazy.
the helmet came
Yeah.
down, and she was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it was him!"
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess
don't
that
know.
makes sense.
So I'd probably
What's
tell
that?
them 4, 5, and 6, then 1, 2, and 3, and then set all of that aside and watch 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't even watch 7, 8, 9.
Oh, we can get into that.
I know. Okay. So I would only say that because I do feel strongly that it impacts the ending of the original trilogy in a negative way. I will put this out there before we get into it, and we don't even have to talk about this now, but I will give you the credit that they are great movies
Sure.
in and of themselves.
Sure.
Visually, they're great. The writing isn't perfect, but it's better by and large than the rest of them. It's just the storyline that I really don't like. So if somebody is attached to the storyline, I'd say watch them because they're good Star Wars films. Don't watch them as a continuation of this story. Because it'll
But
probably...
it is a continuation.
But it shouldn't have been.
Of
It'll let you
that
down.
story. I don't think it would. I think you and the rest of, not the rest of, let me clarify, you and a lot of the Star Wars community that grew up with the prequels and the original trilogy, I think they could have, I don't know. I think there's a lot of over dramatic hate towards the last three. I understand that it's not the direction that a lot of Star Wars fans wanted to see the story go, but at the end of the day, it is, and those are the movies that we have, and I think they're great movies, and they sparked love in a new generation. Now, I wasn't the new generation. I could have grown up with them. I was the right age, but I didn't. You know what I mean? So it really infuriates me to see all the hate towards the last three when those are the ones that sparked my love for Star Wars.
That's super fair.
Because they're great movies. They're the dialogue, not necessarily like the writing of the story, because whatever. But like the dialogue and everything is like really good. Like sure, there might be a few cheesy lines here and there, but
somehow
that's Star
Palpatine
Wars.
returned.
You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be Star Wars without some of those wipe transitions and like the cheesiness of it. You know what I mean?
I do.
And so I think that there's a nice balance between those cheesy moments and like the dramaticness. Like it's a space opera, right? Like that's like I think that is what it is, and yeah. I mean, looking back on it, I can recognize like Last Jedi is kind of a mess. Like, it's the Rey's character arc is messy and complicated, and I don't even think I still fully understand it because it's not the greatest. But like, I think
it wasn't cohesive.
I don't know. I think all things considered, I think they're great movies. I think cinematically they're beautiful, and I love watching them. I still will sit down and watch episode 9 and cry and laugh and Babu Frick is one of my favorite characters of all time. Yeah.
I think it probably would have been a lot better if J.J. Abrams just directed all three, to be honest.
That's a hot take for sure, I think.
Well, I mean, he did a good job with them. It's not that it's all Rian Johnson's fault. It's definitely not. Even Mark Hamill, though, was like, when he came on for episode 8, and he like read the script, and he read like the direction that they took Luke in, he like talked to Rian Johnson, and he was like, "Hey, I don't like this. This doesn't seem right for the character. I'll do it, but like, you probably shouldn't be doing this."
Interesting.
And that's Mark Hamill. So, it exists. I do enjoy watching the movies. I really do. I enjoy watching episode 7. I enjoy watching episode 9. Episode 8 bugs me a lot more than the other ones.
That's fair.
But it's fine. There's some good moments. This was an interesting question. What do you think is the best scene in the worst Star Wars movie?
Oh my gosh. The best scene in the worst Star Wars movie.
It either has to be a really good scene in like a bad movie, or like a pretty good scene in a not that bad movie.
A pretty good scene in a... Wait. Okay.
Like what's... I guess you should start with like... So it could be... I have an example.
Okay, let's hear it.
I mean, okay, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could just tell you... I could just tell you what comes to mind for me.
Sure.
So, an example would be My example would probably be the Holo maneuver in Episode 8. So Episode 8 is like, by and large, the worst Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Debatably.
Sure.
Debatably.
Yeah. I think most people would agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cinematically, the way they did the Holdo maneuver. Now everything leading up to the Holdo maneuver, stupid. Never should have happened.
Okay.
It just should not have happened. But the way they did it, and with the shot of like the music like fading out, and the shot of the slow-mo shot of the starship just like ripping through the whatever they call it, Snoke's cruiser.
Yeah.
Was beautiful and immaculate and masterful.
Sure.
So debatably the worst Star Wars movie, but like a masterclass like scene in the movie.
Yeah. So we're still just referring to the main movies, right?
You could
I could
pick
throw
one of
in
the other ones. I mean, the only two
I'm thinking,
feature
like-
films are, we'll stay with feature films. So that includes Solo and Rogue One.
Yeah, I would say, like, I was gonna try to pull something from Solo. I was not a fan of that movie.
Solo's
Hot
good
take.
movie, dude.
Hot
We need to
take.
watch Solo again on a bigger screen.
Nah.
We watched it on a smaller screen from across the living room.
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I don't know. I just didn't think it was that good. I don't know. I'd have to. I don't think I have an answer. I think I would have to think really hard
Yeah.
about. I don't know.
Other people have said like Duel of the Fates from Episode 1 from The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Because some people think that The Phantom Menace was not a good Star Wars movie. I disagree.
I disagree. I think.
But like, if it's not one of the best Star Wars movies, but if Duel of the Fates is like one of the best sequences, then that matches the criteria.
Yeah. Duel of the Fates is
Qui-Gon and
Qui-Gon
Obi-Wan
and-
versus
yeah,
Darth Maul.
okay.
Yeah.
talk about a stupid story, dude.
Uh-oh.
Darth Maul coming back to life after being cut in half and thrown down a no.
Down a reactor shaft.
No, that should have never happened. That was stupid. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, I don't have an answer. Sorry, I don't know. I would have to think for a long time.
The dark side is the pathway to abilities that some would consider to be unnatural. Isn't that what? That's what the Grand Inquisitor in Obi-Wan. Remember after Reva stabs him at the beginning of the show?
Mm.
And we were all like, what the heck is this? He's supposed to be alive for Rebels. And then he comes back at the end and he was like, revenge is a powerful motivator. Even when you're on the verge of death. I don't remember what he says. I've only seen the series once.
That's the thing.
You
I feel
remember
like no, I don't. I need to go back. That's what I'm saying. Like over the last 2-3 years, I've had
There's been a
so
lot of
much
content.
Star Wars like input, and I can't sort it all into the correct categories and keep it all straight. So like I have miscellaneous like information floating around in my brain. Couldn't tell you like how I know that or where it came from or what movie it was that taught me that. But like yeah, I think I need to go back and I need to watch all of Clone Wars. As much as I don't want to do that, I think it would be helpful. I don't like Clone Wars. It's too much politics. It's too much politics, and I'm not interested.
There's a lot of
It's hard for
politics.
me to like. You can't just put on Clone Wars like in the background while you're like
Yeah,
doing
no, you
something.
won't
You have
know
to
what's
like
going on.
focus because there's a lot. It's a lot. I need to rewatch Ahsoka, but I feel like I should watch Clone Wars before I watch Ahsoka. I need to rewatch. I don't even know. I should rewatch Solo. We just watched Rogue One not long ago, so I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on that one. I don't know. There's a lot of like miscellaneous shows and things that I feel like I need to go back and watch again. It's so much.
I know, it's just so much time.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we need to watch the Clone Wars. Have you ever seen the Clone Wars feature film? The animated one that like kicked
No.
off the series?
No, I have not.
Yeah. It's I think I've only seen it once,
Yeah, so like
and I was like 10.
at this point, like there's not much that I haven't seen once,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that I remember it and or took in like all of that information. So I definitely need to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to watch. Is it Rebels?
Rebels. That's the one we watched leading up to the Ahsoka series, which we kind of skipped through a bit. That's the one
Wait.
with Ezra and
Yeah,
Hera.
yeah. Rebels.
Yeah.
I need to watch that again. Yeah. Anyways.
Rebels has got some good stuff, for sure. We didn't even watch all of it. We skipped through seasons 2 and 3. We only watched like 2 arcs out of each season.
Yeah. All in due time.
It's pretty good. The Bendu. I am the light. I am the dark. I am the Bendu.
Wait, what else does he say?
Kanan Jarrus.
Jedi Knight. We quote that all the time. Okay.
Did you give me an answer? Or did you just say Duel of the Fates from episode 1?
No, that wasn't my answer. I don't have an answer.
You're just gonna ditto that one.
I'd have to go back and probably watch.
What do you think is?
Episode 8 again?
Yeah.
I would probably agree that I guess
It's
that's the one that falls short.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any of like great moments.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's so interesting because there's like each trilogy. It's like each trilogy has its own strengths that the other trilogies don't have.
You know what? I do have an answer.
Yeah.
Sorry. At the very beginning of episode 8, is that when Finn wakes up in this bag,
Yeah.
in the water suit or whatever?
Uh-huh.
And
the
Poe,
droid's like,
yeah.
or BB-8's like, Finn's dripping all over the floor.
Yeah, and Poe's like, leaky bag, Finn, what? Like, I don't know. I think that whole montage at the beginning is funny.
That's a good scene. Yeah, that's the one that also starts with Finn like toying with General Hux in the X-wing.
Yeah. So the whole beginning
Pretending
like
you can't hear
montage,
him.
and then like the whole like where they keep the ships and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
the flying ones, that gets like blown up right at the beginning too. I'm pretty sure, and like BB-8 goes flying. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Anyways,
I mean,
you need to
not
go back
really,
and
but
watch
probably.
It again.
I'd
But that
probably
whole
remember it.
opening like montage is pretty good.
Yeah.
Goes downhill from there. But.
What do you think is the worst scene in the best Star Wars movie?
Oh. I don't know.
Hi, Pia.
Any of the scenes with Anakin and Padme, the dialogue is just so bad.
Your kiss haunts me.
So bad. I love it, don't get me wrong. Like, I have to love it.
It's
But,
like Twilight.
Yes, it's like so bad that it's good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah. So any of it could be the scene where they're standing on Naboo and he's like, I don't like sand. Like that whole scene is just it's cringy.
It's pretty bad. Okay, so Anakin and Padme on Naboo in episode 2, which implies that you think episode 2 is a great Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Episode 2, I guess we'll get there later. I love episode 2.
I just said it was a great movie.
It is a great movie. I think worst scene in the best Star Wars movie. So yeah, like my personal favorite Star Wars movie is Attack of the Clones. But I don't know if that's the best Star Wars movie or if it's just my favorite. I don't know. Maybe
I would say episode 3 might be like the best
episode
one
3
ever.
Episode 3 is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
But I'm trying to think of bad scenes in episode 3.
Yeah, I don't. They kind of stepped up their game.
I don't know. I don't like the scene where it's Anakin and Padme. When they're standing there and she's like brushing her hair, but her hair is like perfectly permed already.
Curled,
like you
yes.
shouldn't be brushing it.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to have my baby back on Naboo. And they're having a conversation and she was like, hold me like you did back then on Naboo when there was nothing but our love. which
And
is
also...
which is really funny because they were only on Naboo because she was like being hunted by like all the bounty hunters, and like
Yeah.
Anakin had just like killed all the sand people.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, that hadn't happened yet. It was about to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that scene is really funny and kind of bad.
Yeah.
What is your personal all-time favorite movie?
I would probably say, if you would have asked me this a year and a half ago, I would have said episode 9, and I would have gotten so much hate for it. But I think now that I'm more,
There's some good stuff in episode 9. There's some dumb stuff in episode 9, but there's some good stuff.
Yeah. I think
This
now I
dagger
would
has done
say...
terrible things.
I think
Go
now
check
I
your
would say
lightsaber.
episode 3.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 is probably my favorite.
Solid. What do you like about episode 3? That's better than episode 9.
Hayden Christensen.
Fair.
Hayden Christensen. That's... No, I think, I think just the storyline. I think the storyline itself, like, I think obviously dialogue cinematically, I think episode 9 would top episode 3 all day, every day. But I think just the storyline of the fall of Anakin, I think it's just too good.
It's very dramatic.
It's good. It's really good. Like, again, there are some cheesy moments. And I think, but I don't know, I really love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. My personal favorite is definitely episode 2. Because it's such a turning point and catalyst like for the saga. Like episode 1 is like, all right, we've built all this stuff up. Like now Anakin's in the picture and Padme's in the picture and Qui-Gon's dead, and it's like we're ready to tell Anakin's story now. It's like the very beginning of Anakin's story.
Interesting.
But episode 2 is where Palpatine kicks his plan into high gear with starting the Clone Wars. It also has Count Dooku in it.
You love Count Dooku.
I love Count Dooku, dude. Okay, so transition from this. This is annoying with me asking the questions because I feel like I already answer my question before I even ask you the question.
Sure.
But that's only because it's like the perfect segue.
Sure.
Do you have an all-time favorite character? Actually, I have to back up. Before we get there. If you include the series,
okay,
like the rest of Star Wars content,
yeah,
is episode 3 still your favorite?
Intriguing. Like including series is...
Yeah.
Wow.
Or you could say like the second half of Ahsoka.
Sure. That's intriguing. I would probably say it's still my favorite. I think... Oh boy. I think Ahsoka was really good. I think I didn't have all the knowledge that I should have watching that for the first time. So I think I need to watch it again. But it would probably be... I don't know though, because Andor's really good, dude. Andor's really good.
Andor's really good, but it doesn't like punch you in the gut as hard as episode 3 does.
I don't know, dude. The last couple episodes of Andor, those, they were bad.
They get you. Yeah.
They'll get you. We're not gonna say too much about.
So did episode 5 of The Acolyte, but.
Well, shoot. Yeah, I forgot about... Okay, why
but that is
was
not...
the first chunk of The Acolyte so bad?
It was
because
really
it started
bad.
to pick up and it started to get real good there.
It got...
Kinda.
I don't know about
real good, but like...
It got all
to
right.
Get somewhere, you
I know.
know?
Yeah, I started tracking with it by the end, but the first 3 episodes are absolutely unforgivable.
Dang, I don't know how absolutely unforgivable, but
There's almost nothing redeeming about the first 3
they
episodes.
were pretty rough. We almost like stopped watching,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, nah. Yeah. Anyways.
Now, Skeleton Crew, we did turn off and did not turn back on.
We in fact did not.
We probably
finish
will
watching
never finish Skeleton Crew.
Just wasn't our cup of tea. I don't think we were the target audience, though. To be honest,
I mean, we're not the target audience for any there's a thing
the target audience for most Star Wars.
There's a thing I saw recently where Solo was directed by Ron Howard, right?
Okay, that's probably why.
Do you know who Ron Howard is?
Do I know who Ron Howard is? Move on.
Okay, sorry. No, but Ron Howard said when he started making Solo, George Lucas said to him, "Now remember, this is for 12-year-old boys."
Fantastic.
And that's always how George Lucas has approached Star Wars.
Sure.
It's everybody else that's like, I don't like it, and I'm a middle-aged man.
Right, it's not for you. Yeah. And I think that's 100% fair. Well, and that's how I feel about, the hate towards the last 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure. I guess it wasn't the story everyone was hoping for, but, as a movie, it wasn't for you. It wasn't, well, I'm not going to say it wasn't for you, because, if you're a fan, you're a fan,
That's what I felt like a lot of the problem came from, though, is that they pulled a lot of things out of Legends, and they pulled stuff out of the comic. It felt like they pulled stuff out of the comic books that people knew and would be familiar with, and then they just flipped it backwards and threw it into a different story. So it's like, if you wanted to just introduce the next generation of Star Wars, you easily could have done that. But you took stuff that people were already going to be familiar with, except you flipped it around backwards and changed it and then told a story. So it's like they didn't set themselves up for success. If they wanted to just tell a new story for new people and for new young kids, they shouldn't have bothered to try to take stuff out of Legends. Because that's what everybody got upset about. Ben Solo's the wrong person. Palpatine coming back is the wrong person. Sure. There's plenty of things they could have done, and if they had taken a few legacy things and told a new story, that would have been better.
I don't understand everyone's beef with Palpatine coming back, though. You weren't mad when other characters came back from the literal dead.
Well, that depends. Okay, but Palpatine is the big bad of the main Star Wars saga.
And the original characters still played a decent-sized role. In the, Leia was still there, Luke was still there.
Yes, but Episode 6 was supposed to be the end of that story. He died.
But says who? Darth Maul died and then came back in a series.
But Darth Maul wasn't the big bad of the series, of the whole saga. Darth Maul was a small player who got screwed over by the bad guy, and he came back in his own way to underscore still the main story that was going on.
Sure. I don't know.
It's different for me.
I think it's different for some reason for a lot of Star Wars fans, but I just, as an outsider, I would call myself, an outsider, I guess. From an outsider's perspective, I don't understand why. Why can't Palpatine come back? You literally just sat here when I mentioned Darth Maul coming back, and you were like, well, there's, things that the dark side is a what is it? The dark side is a
pathway to abilities that some would consider to be unnatural.
Right.
But what they did with Darth Maul was great. And he still lost in the end. What they did with Palpatine just felt like they wrote themselves into a corner and they didn't have anything else to do. So they brought Palpatine back because they already killed the big bad of the trilogy in the second film. I
don't know. I thought it was kind of cool, though, that, Snoke wasn't even Snoke. Snoke was Snoke, but at the end of the day, I don't know, it was always Palpatine, still pulling the strings,
yeah.
How he was like, I have been every voice you have ever heard.
Yeah.
In your head. I don't know, I thought it was...
It's just, yeah, well, I mean, but the thing is, the original trilogy is the original trilogy, and at the end of the original trilogy, Luke defeated Palpatine. Luke and Darth Vader defeated Emperor Palpatine. And then you get into the sequel trilogy, and Luke doesn't believe there's good in everyone anymore. He's like doubting all of this stuff, and he's going to die trying to defeat a mysterious enemy again, who ends up being Palpatine. So it's like the main character of Star Wars, which is technically Anakin, but also like Luke. Like, Luke doesn't even make it to the end of the story anymore. And the story was supposed to end with, like, his...
Right, but who's to say? Like, you're sitting here being like, the story was supposed to.
So it ended up being Palpatine comes out on top of Luke, which feels like a lot of disrespect to Episode 6. I think that's what it comes down to.
On top of Luke in what way? Like, in the fact that he lived longer?
Yeah.
Because Luke was he was going up against Kylo Ren. That's when he died.
Yeah. But still, like, Luke, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying, though? Like, Luke was the original main character.
Sure.
And Palpatine was the original big bad. And they wrapped that trilogy up with Luke coming out on top and Palpatine losing. And then by stretching that into the next trilogy, having Luke die halfway through, and then having Palpatine come back at the end, they flipped the ending of the original trilogy on its head by making Luke not the main character and Palpatine.
Sure,
and
although I don't really see anything wrong with that, I think you just explained at why it made all the original fans mad.
Yeah, it seems disrespectful.
That is crazy, but okay.
Like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense, but it seems disrespectful. Like, you probably just shouldn't have done that.
That's wild. At the end of the day, like, George Lucas allowed it, so.
I mean, he didn't have a say.
He didn't have any say?
I
find
at the end of the day, of the day, he was not running the company.
I know he wasn't running the company, but there's no way they wouldn't let George Lucas, like, not have any say.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite character?
Babu Frick.
No, I couldn't say Babu. Babu is great, but
he's a side character.
I don't know. I would probably say like Hera, Syndulla, or
Hera's a great character.
Maybe Kanan. Like all of those characters.
Freddie
Lennon,
Prinze.
you're gonna be able to hear that, Bubba.
He's just feeling scratchy.
Yeah. This is Lennon. Yeah, I don't know. I think
Why Harrison Dula?
I feel like it would be I would need a whole different category, like, to consider, like, the bad characters versus, like, the good neutral characters.
Nah.
Yeah. So I would say, like, favorite character on the good side of history, one of those guys probably. Favorite, actually, scratch all of that. Maz Kanata is just so funny, dude.
Maz is a great character.
She's so funny. And I feel like there's a lot of story there that, like, never got tapped into. Like, who is she?
I would love a Maz Kanata solo miniseries.
She's wild and, like, so unhinged.
Put Chewbacca in it. It'll be great.
And then on the bad side, obviously Anakin. Duh.
Putting Anakin on the bad side. Never mind. I guess that's fair. He's Darth Vader.
Yeah. Sorry, should I call him Darth Vader as long as... Okay. And then I would say... I don't know. The newest... Okay. Ventress, maybe. She scares me a lot. She haunts me in my sleep, I think. So they did a good job with that one. What's the blue guy?
Cad Bane.
Nope, not Cad Bane.
Thrawn.
You
got a lot of favorite characters.
Also kind of scary. Anyways, that's who are you? Who?
You already know this. My all-time favorite Star Wars character is Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Because, number one, because I like things that are underrated. I like hot takes, and I like I like things that are underrated, which can make me contentious sometimes. So I apologize to you and to Sean and the people that are close to me.
Yeah. It's fair.
But no, I love Count Dooku. And the main reason I love Count Dooku is because
He's complex.
He's so complex. He is one of the only characters that is associated. Well, he is a bad guy. He plays the role of a bad guy, but he had the most honest intentions out of all the bad guys. Like he was a part of the Jedi Order. If you have a chance, I don't remember who did it. I don't remember. It's not. I don't think it's Geetsleys. It might be Lore Star that did an episode on Count Dooku, and it was fantastic. But he was a Jedi. He left the Jedi Order of his own volition because he knew the Jedi Order was flawed, dogmatic, and extremist, which they were. He allied himself with Palpatine because Palpatine promised that they would redeem they'd kill the Republic and rebuild the Republic to fix the flaws, which did need to happen. And Palpatine and Dooku was under the impression that he would kind of be able to rebuild the Jedi Order as well into what they should have been all along. Obviously, that did not come to fruition because Dooku ended up being double-crossed by Palpatine, as with all the other bad guys. But his, like, you never see him. He uses Sith lightning, but you never see him with Sith eyes. His eyes never go yellow like everybody else's. He doesn't really he taps into the dark side for things like lightning and whatnot, but he doesn't give himself to the dark side. And he's like the only one.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, I'm realizing, like, what's Palpatine's deal with all that? Because we see him giving orders as a Sith with, the hood and the... But then, 5 minutes later, we see him walking around as Senator Palpatine, and he looks totally normal.
I mean, he doesn't...
Does he go, like, in and out of it, or...
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't get, like, shriveled until the end of episode 3.
No, I know that, but, well, I guess
also,
we never actually see his eyes.
You don't see his eyes.
It's always, like, cloaked. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I mean, I think the actual answer is...
Sith eyes
I think the answer is he's powerful enough to mask it.
Fascinating.
Now, most people, when they fully give themselves to the dark side, it starts to, like, physically mangle them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, because Palpatine's not a young dude.
Correct. Yes.
Sheev Palpatine. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Count Dooku. I also love Attack of the Clones. I love Jango Fett. His action figures up there.
You do love Jango.
I need a Count Dooku Funko Pop. That's what I need.
I don't think we ever need any more Funko Pops, but you know what? Yeah,
we have a good sized Funko Pop collection.
We do.
Up here. Do you have a favorite Funko Pop?
Honestly, the newest one that I just got. I just got Wonder Woman for like $5 at a Comic-Con, and that was a good deal.
Dude, yeah, it's so good.
I do love my Ahsoka though too, because you got that for me.
I did.
Wong, that one's pretty good.
Every time I ask you for a favorite, you give me like 6 different things.
Sorry, I'm indecisive. I don't know.
My favorite Funko Pop. Oh man, I've got some good ones. I've got some really good ones. It would have to be Moon Knight.
Sure.
Moon Knight would have to be my second favorite. Second favorite is probably that Dr. Fate, and then the Silver Surfer that you got for me. I really like that one.
He's not
because it's for me. Silver Surfer. He's on the end, on the left,
okay.
Behind Captain America.
Anyways.
Yeah, Funko Pops. We got some good stuff. What do you think is the most underrated Star Wars character?
Underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, after watching the newest season of Andor.
Luthen Rail.
No, not Luthen. What's her name?
Bix.
No, the main lady. Not the main lady.
Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma, dude.
Yeah.
What the? Y'all go watch season 2 of Andor if you have not already, because what? It was crazy. And yeah, that literally, I sat, I
That's
cried.
a good answer.
I cried. Like, I don't know though if that would qualify as underrated, because now I feel like, now, I don't know, I feel like,
But okay, here's the thing.
but like, what qualifies as
Mon
underrated?
Mothma, if you appreciate Mon Mothma for who she is, especially after Andor, even if you've watched Andor, like the more I've gotten into Star Wars and then gone to like Comic-Con and interacted with like casual fans, the more I realize how many people are just casual fans and not super fans of Star Wars. Which I don't really know how I feel about that because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my super fandom is too much. But like, if you walked up to the casual Star Wars fan and said, "Who's Mon Mothma?" they would have no idea.
That's fair.
They don't even know who she is.
See, I'm proud. I have the knowledge, guys. I couldn't have
Yeah,
told
no,
you
that
what
was
her
a
name
dude. That was
off
a
the top of
good.
my
That was a
head,
good
but
answer.
Yeah, I would say Mon Mothma.
Because she's been around since episode 4.
Yep.
She's an OG.
Yep. And yeah, just like seeing her story, I think.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen any of those videos about like people talking about like breaking down stuff in Andor? And somebody was talking about how like heartbreaking it was at the end to see like Perrin after she had to skip Coruscant and leave, and then like Perrin's just like all depressed and he's like riding around with that lady, and like to see the two of them like kind of split throughout season 2 was like so heartbreaking because they were like, Perrin probably would have been a worthy ally for her. She just didn't trust him with everything. And like he probably would have stuck with her and like helped, and they probably would have been fine.
I don't
But
know. I feel like we didn't have enough information about Perrin.
Yeah.
I mean, I never trusted him either, for the record.
I mean,
so I guess.
that's kind of the thing. Like, you don't know who you can trust, but it was also pretty apparent that like he did not have all the information.
He also didn't. I mean, I didn't understand that dynamic at all when I was watching. It seemed like they were just. It was just formality.
It was an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it was formality that they were together. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean, I liked Perrin. I think I appreciated him. I didn't have anything bad towards him because you kind of get the idea that it's like he just doesn't know how big everything is and what's going on behind the scenes. And so there's advice that he gives to her that's like, that you as the viewer are like, all right, that's not very helpful. But he doesn't know that because he doesn't know everything that's going on.
Sure.
And then, dude, just the monologues in Andor. Every
So
like 2
good.
episodes, there's
So
a new monologue,
good.
and every one of them is just absolute gas.
Yeah. Honestly, what did Andor even do in season 2? I don't even know. He was not the main character in my brain of season 2. But anyways,
He was. I mean, he was kind of like, he was running around like helping everybody do stuff. So he was insider information on Gorman. He was going into like a cess.
I'm not actually. That was just me making a joke, kind of.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Wait. So what's your underrated?
I mean, probably Count Dooku.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if he's the single most underrated character. And there's enough that you can pick up from watching the movies. Like, he's a master duelist. He's a keen strategist. He's kind of ruthless, but like he's trying to do the best for the galaxy at the end of the day. And most people just don't know that.
Well, we do get a little bit more insight into his like thought process and everything in
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's true. I think that was fun for me because I already knew that stuff and it like brought it into mainstream a little bit more, which was good. I don't know. I think, and I don't. He seems like a one-off villain because he's in episode 2. He doesn't do that much, and then he dies in the first 15 minutes of episode 3. So it's like, I think a lot of people don't pay that much attention to him, but his story is crazy.
You good, Baba?
But that's kind of what I was saying before. Like I just like I like underdogs, and I like things that is a little bit more like under the radar. Those are my favorite things.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite movie? If we were watching them straight through, which one would you want to skip the most?
Oh boy. I don't know. Probably 5.
That's funny.
Why is that funny?
A lot of people think Episode 5 is the single best Star Wars movie ever made. Now, I understand.
Okay.
I'm not super attached to Episode 5. I think it has a lot of good stuff. It definitely wouldn't be the one that I would skip. But
Well, I mean, yeah, 4 is just too iconic. Luke
right.
and Obi-Wan running around.
Yeah. The prequels are just like fun.
4 or 5, I just feel like has the most like skippable stuff in my brain. I don't know. And then 6 is I don't know.
It was supposed to be the conclusion.
Right. I don't know. I feel like I need to watch I feel like just the prequels in general, or the original trilogy in general, are the ones that I haven't seen as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just a harder
Listen,
watch
I
for
think
me.
it's I mean, when I think of Episode 5, the first thing that comes to mind is the choppy stop motion AT-ATs walking through the snow.
Yeah.
That's the first image that comes to mind. And then I have to like think about what else is in that movie.
Well, Episode 5 is when they're on Hoth, right?
Hoth, yeah.
And
Luke goes to Dagobah.
The little guys that they ride around.
The Tauntauns.
The Tauntauns, yeah.
Like
I don't know. I just feel like I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Luke goes to Dagobah, and then the rest of them go to Bespin, and then there's Lando and Boba Fett.
I think that might have a huge part of it, to be honest. I don't like Lando. Never have, never will. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
He's too invested in the ladies.
He's a scoundrel and a womanizer.
And I don't like it. I don't like the way he treats the ladies.
As Christians,
we
have an issue with that. Yeah.
No, it's just like, I don't know.
A lot of hardcore fans would be like,
the heebie-jeebies.
but it's Lando.
I like Lando when he comes back.
Yeah.
When he's old.
Old Lando.
He seems
in
a lot
episode
sweeter
9.
then.
Yeah. He's still like,
but there's more of us.
Send Leia my love. And they're like, bro, her husband just died. Too soon.
That's true. I guess he's got a little...
No, but they're friends. They've known each other for a long time. If I were to skip a Star Wars movie, it would 100% be Episode 8.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
That's fair.
It has some... There's just... Okay, Episode 8 has too many things that don't amount to anything. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a... Yeah. Literally, Rey's character arc is extremely infuriating because the whole first movie, she's like, who am I? And then the second movie, she's like,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, I know who I am. And, well, she doesn't say I know who I am, but she's, like, starting to, like, kind of come into her own and everything.
I'm just me, and that's
like,
fine.
And she's starting, and I feel like something's happening there. And then literally, beginning of movie 9, it's just, like, all back to square one. And she's like, who am I? I need to know. And I'm like, girl, we just went over this. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, yeah, and I was, well, I don't know. It's a mess, but...
Yeah, it just seems like it doesn't go anywhere. They're like, oh, you have to go get the code breaker. And then they don't get the code breaker. And then they find the guy that sells them out, DJ.
Yeah, he's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's the stutter.
Yeah, he is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about Star Wars?
I don't know. I know that my takes are hot. I know that I don't even know if... Listen... I would definitely consider myself a real Star Wars fan. Whatever the heck that means, right? I would not consider myself a casual fan like you were
Oh,
talking
definitely
about.
not. Yeah.
I think I know way too much.
You know what Rhodians are? That
I
was
do
big.
know what Rhodians are. Now I don't have the whole scene with Han memorized, like
all
a
the
lot of people
Hutties.
do, but and I don't care who shot first, but I do know what Rhodians are.
John Michale.
uh,
That's all he says when you run around as Greedo in Lego Star Wars. Every like 5 to 15 seconds, he's like, John Michale.
oh, yeah. What does Jabba say with Han?
Han Mabuki.
Mabuki, yeah. I put that on merch. You can get some cute Star Wars merch, aesthetic Star Wars merch on our shop.
Origins Cosplay
Origins
on Etsy.
Cosplay
Check
on
us out.
Etsy. We've got some cute stuff. You can get a phone case that says Han Mabuki.
We got Star Wars stuff. We got Star Trek stuff. We got Princess Bride stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly Star Wars stuff.
It's eclectic. Though. It's like aesthetic nerdy stuff. So go check that out. Shameless plug. And anyways, yeah, I just think I think I'm a Star Wars fan, regardless of what anyone says, and I'm not gonna be bullied about liking the last movies. They sparked my whole love for Star Wars, so I think there's a lot to be said for them.
And bravo to them.
Yeah, listen.
Maybe not encore, but bravo.
Okay. And as much as people are like, Disney ruined Star Wars, I'd have to disagree. Because some of the most recent series that they've, like, Andor, incredible. Ahsoka, brilliant.
Andor's great. Rebels is great.
So, no, Disney is not
Rogue
ruining
One is
Star
great.
Wars. Get over yourself. I said what I said. Yeah, I think it just depends on the series. It depends on the story. It depends on the writer.
Now, that being said, Disney has made enough content that not all of it is good. There are some bad Disney Star Wars.
I think that's
but
fair.
By and large, they didn't ruin Star Wars. They made some good Star Wars and they made some bad Star Wars. So let's be fair.
And I would say that even before Disney took it over,
Oh,
that
for
was still
sure.
the case. There were some good Star Wars and there were some bad Star Wars.
Not all of Clone Wars is gold. There's a lot of skippable stuff in Clone Wars.
Yeah. Anyways, all of that to say, I am constantly learning and exploring new Star Wars things and knowledge, and I think if you're intimidated to get into Star Wars as an adult, don't be, because although there is a lot going on, just start with one movie and see if you like it, and then kind of go from there. And it's never too late to become a Star Wars fan. And that one movie should be
Episode 4.
Okay, I don't know. It's not important, but yeah, like, it's never too late. I didn't know about Star Wars until college, and here we are now. And it's one of my favorite things to watch. I literally never not want to watch Star Wars. It would always be an acceptable thing to put on. And it's a huge part of our lives now, because we talk about it a lot. We watch them a lot. We go to Comic-Con as their characters. And it's an incredible story, incredible world.
I think it's funny that you watched all the Star Wars films in order on a road trip, because I watched all the Harry Potter movies for the first time when I was like in college.
We'll talk about Harry Potter
on a road trip.
While
I was touring.
Yeah, but I think that's my final kind of. Star Wars is brilliant, nice. And it's a huge part of my heart and my life.
Nice. Yay, Star Wars.
Yay, Star Wars.
Good job, George. Thank you for Star Wars. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Check out our socials. Check out Origins Cosplay on TikTok, Instagram, and Etsy. Check out Cozy Cosette with 2 Y's and 2 T's on
basically
Twitch
everywhere.
And TikTok and Instagram.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of
Throw Pillows and Blaster Fire.
Bye.
All right, peace.